Hello. I'm gonna do one more video and then go to sleep. This should be, I guess, another status update video. And there'll be two with the same date. So maybe just for purposes of not to be confusing, I will just title this as a personal chat. It's 4:05 a.m. Monday, September 10th. So tomorrow, I have to go to my meeting with the state. Um, just to learn some basics on the rules and regulations and guidelines on having a campaign treasure chest, so to speak. I like that word. It's kind of fun and creative. I heard it on the news as somebody was referring to that um, to some politicians' um, funds in a campaign as a war chest, but I like the word treasure chest better. Uh, Not that I imagine I would receive a great deal, or not that because I don't expect to, but because I don't. People are, unless I find out that. I mean, I plan to find out. I'm not entirely sure. I imagine something like that is tax deductible. If it is, I think I'll receive a lot of money because I'll educate people on the fact of tax deductions. Um, but if it isn't, I don't expect people to put any money into it because in, the reality of the situation is a lot of people are having money troubles, and it would be I don't even know how to even begin asking people money for something that I plan to do if they are having trouble in their lives because of financial hardship. Though some of the more wealthier people, I imagine, yeah, sure, they would give in, assuming that I would be able to meet them because, well, I don't know, I would be able to meet them. But I don't know, I don't know on that. Because in quite honesty, there's 11 other municipalities, 11 other townships that I need to spend some time and research and just observe and understand the type of people that live there. I assume they're almost similar. And again, I'm not it like I even if they I I would like with something like this. I mean, I would just if I were to go to China, I would just do the exact same thing that I would be doing here. I mean, it's not about uh, like my certain understanding about a certain type of people or persons. It's just my basic understanding that people have concerns, grievances, issues, and needs and opinions of how the government should run and operate because we are a people of by and for ideal that is how our government should manage. I'm quite tired. I wanted to share a few things. I went to a chill and I spoke to Dwayne and Sean, and Sean's a perfect person for me from time to time, I guess, to share my ideas and just to talk about stuff because he's the perfect person to ultimately discourage anybody from doing anything. If somebody has basically, it's for my purposes, it's perfect for building resilience. Because I listen to him and I just want to pull out my hair. Uh, but at the same time, I mean, just examining his and observing his character, he just wants to just a typical thing. He just wants to do his own thing. Doesn't want to worry about anyone's problems but his own. He's not concerned about other people. So, and that's the way that people should be living. In all honesty, they should not be concerned about the needs and wants of others in an ideal society. But the reality of the situation is we have a lot of problems, a lot of social problems that I personally believe arise out of education. But and that said, I want to just have this like a basic personal chat. The school I went to. Oh, so I did those 3 videos where I read. What did I read? The Citizens Almanac that was provided to me by the Immigration and Naturalization Service of the country. And I went through some other stuff, and they also gave me this booklet, the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution of the United States, that I plan to do the exact same thing as read it, but I'm going to do something differently. When I read certain things, I'm going to give my own opinion, my own impression and just give a case scenario of where this is occurring based on the writings of this. At the same time, I was concerned about the Constitution of New Jersey because I have an online resource where I could read it, but I wanted to have it printed out, but I don't have a printer. So, because it's better to have things in writing and something you can look at physically. That's the limitations of the computer. Is in some cases it's better for me to hold this and read it like this, or just so I can references, I can highlight it. Basically for the same um, basically for the same intellectual reason that some things I have written on my wall so I can look at and have the idea stretched out, which might come off a bit crazy or insane or madmanish to some people, but I think the educated intellectual person will understand the need for that, as I lack the resource to have like a blackboard. So like I said, I do the best I can with what I have. So this particular booklet I got from the graduation of my high school, and this is probably the most useful thing that I've gotten out of the high school that I went to. It has the Declaration of Independence, the Constitution of the United States, and the Constitution of New Jersey, because it's important for me to understand the Constitution of New Jersey. I need to, I need to know these things. So what I'll read this at some point, do some videos on this. The interesting thing about this, the Constitution of the New Jersey, is that it's been, what's the correct word? I think the correct word is ratified. When you change something in the Constitution, I think it's called, you amend it. But when you ratify it, that means you create a new Constitution. So the current New Jersey Constitution was last ratified in 1947 or 1957. And let's just, for our own personal, assuming you're a resident, if you're watching this, or a citizen, let's just assume that's when all the problems began. So on a long-term scale, I personally think I'm not against the ratification of a new New Jersey Constitution, but I read the New Jersey Constitution a while ago, a couple of months ago, when I was having these ideas and these thoughts in my mind, and I was just giving it some thought, and at the same time, I've been not listing any keywords on any of my videos for the purpose of, I'm not at the moment, present time, interested in acquiring more members of audience, because I don't quite have anything ready to present to anybody other than the ideas I have written in my book. And the ideas that I have in my head, as I want a professional website as a tool in my arsenal. At the same time, I'm not fully finished with building. I have all these things that I want to have accomplished. But and I understand the importance of all of them, and some people might understand the importance of them as well. But the problem is, not everybody might understand them, and what I need to do is provide reasons and arguments for this is why this is important. This is why this is important. I don't really have a real concise explanation to why all of these different things are important. I mean, I have them in my head, I just haven't gotten to the point where I have written them down. I guess this is all still a preparationary phase, I guess. So, in having said what I said about these two booklets, what I'm going to do is, do another reading of these and give it a lot more energy, have it more, give it a little bit more entertainment, so it's more likely that more people would watch it, and at the same time keep them involved and entertained in watching it and learning something. These are really basic stuff though, but again, because we've been systematic, because the government has been systematically neglecting the education of basic civil rights and basic citizenship obligations and responsibilities to the government. No one knows anything. That's what I'm going with. I'm going to assume that every single person knows nothing about the government, and that will be the basis of my, I guess, my educational seminar, or like some of these things that I have written down and stuff like that. They're not quite my responsibility for my role to accomplish, but I will accomplish them regardless. Some of them are quite the responsibility of the governor, but he's incompetent, unfortunately. So that's that. Um, and one more very interesting thing. So I signed up for Google Plus. I was planning to sign up for it because for the position, the campaign reasons, I needed it for the technological purpose of it. Because with Google Plus, I haven't tested it. You can have like a large group of people do and communicate with a large group of people using webcam. You can do that with Skype, but you're limited to a couple of people, and then I feel that with Skype you're limited on the quality and the bandwidth. With Skype I have some issues from time to time on the bandwidth or just video problems of, I feel are the problems is with they don't allocate enough video bandwidth to free users. But with Google Plus, I'm sure Google is pretty is a healthy company, and it's a growing, not a healthy. Google Plus is a healthy child. It's still a child, it's a new company, Google. How old is it? Less than 20 years. I mean, in comparison to some companies like Ford Motor Company, when they manufactured and produced cars, they were one of the first few companies. They were behind the idea of an assembly line that we see today in today's factories, or at least they weren't behind it, but at least they implemented the idea of the assembly line. Yeah, one person does one thing in the factory, passes it on to somebody else, then somebody else does whatever. So one person is always doing one thing constantly, and the idea is that that one person becomes better and more efficient doing so. Um, it's about I think in today's 21st century, something like that is just basic organizational. Just simply the fact that I delegate or relinquish the responsibility of the website to somebody else, because otherwise I'd be overwhelmed with a lot of different things. So it's in that regard, it's just basically I think my point's across. But um, Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola company has been around for a very long time in American in the world. Uh, you have other companies. If you really want to sit here and think, I don't really want to sit here and think anymore. Uh, oh, I've gotten up to the 6th month, 2nd day of the 12th. And so I basically have, I guess, 3 more months of comments to go through. So we'll probably finish that tomorrow. And I realized that no, I won't be able to do my tax thing on Tuesday. I'll probably have to go on Thursday, which is fine. Hopefully the girls that I spoke to on my first trip are still there, because they were quite helpful and energetic and motivated. And perfect people to have working in government today. Energetic, motivated, and yeah, that's quite it. And competent. They were competent. Um, oh, so back with Google Plus. I'm sorry. That's the requirement of today's, I guess, government, or people in government, elected or appointed representatives of the people. The technology is there, but how many people are utilizing it? This is a perfect tool for me. From time to time, from time to time, sit down on my computer obviously on top of the doing of the blogging and the reporting of my work that I do, to sit down once a week or once a month or whatever, let the people know, connect on Google Plus, have however many people connect to it, and just have FaceTime for when those people don't have the time, the energy, or whatever to meet with me face to face. It's a perfect tool, isn't it? This is what the government needs in 21st century. It needs to utilize all this technology that exists for the benefit and for the increased I guess for the, for obviously for the benefit of the people, but at the same time, benefit for themselves to increase efficiency. That increases my efficiency. If I can meet with people on a webcam and have like 10, 20 people, and then at the same time they can meet themselves, they can share ideas. That's the beauty behind the internet. I can It's all relative, it's all, yeah, it's all, this is all free. If somebody's learning something, this is all free. I mean, you go to college and you pay so much money, or that's what government needs to be doing today, is utilizing these types of technologies, the website, the webcam. Um, at the same time, it's important to have things in print though too, even though I believe in preserving the environment and leaving a better planet on top of leaving a better society for when it is time for me to go. But for the time being, this is still quite. This is having things on paper is still quite important, and I don't think it is too detrimental to do that, as long as it's done reasonably, because it's not possible to have the society and to live the way we live if we do not do these types of things that we do, that we um, I guess you can say, destroy the planet or damage the planet. As long as we're reasonable with it, and as long as we are understanding, and it's done the right way. It's not just done whatever. It's done the best way we could do it. It's important, and I think that the planet and the ecosystem is designed around that. Uh, I'll stop there on that. Um, so I'm not sure when I will do this. I will probably have to do this on. I will set myself to do this on then Friday or Wednesday. Yeah, Friday or Wednesday or Thursday. About that. I'll write this on this piece of paper that I have. These are just some of my initial short-term things that I guess. So Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Okay, on the 11th, and the 11th that's coming up, and then I wanted to say something about my birthday too. My birthday was on June 20th. Prior to that, I kind of envisioned to do a video about that, and just to talk about um, what, where I guess what happened between 26 and 27, to kind of give it like I guess like a summary of life's events. But I didn't do anything, and even for my birthday I didn't really quite do anything to celebrate it, because quite honestly I don't think there was anything really to celebrate. On a personal note, it might sound a bit, I guess, sad, or I don't know, but I just the celebration of a birthday, I don't know, it's kind of weird. Um, what do you really sell? I mean, what do you? I mean, is it just an excuse to have to have like a holiday for yourself? And if it is, well, why does it have to be that day? You can just make any day you want to have a holiday for yourself, a personal day or whatever. I don't think you should be confined to that particular day. You can just, if you, whenever you feel the desire or the need to have a certain personal or holiday. I think that's the way it should be. You should just if you have friends and if you have friends and family and you want to set a day to have some sort of a celebration, it should be just that. And then if they ask you and they question you, you just say, well, it just felt like it was a good day for us to gather and maybe have some food together, maybe have some drinks, even though I don't want to get into the conversation of these types of things right now, smoking, drinking, and their role in our society. But we cannot be a society of just worker drones. We need to have fun and relax and have all these different reasonable things that we have in today's society, as long as we're reasonable with them. And I think it's okay. I think it's okay, like even with everything I'm saying, I think it's very reasonable for me to one day just get completely drunk and whatever, just so I can unwind or relax. But if I do it every day, that's not good. So again, reason and self-control, and that's important. Um, that's what I wanted to say. At the same time, I mean, you have to, someone could take this the wrong way. If you're 16 and if you're 15 years old, I don't think it's not reasonable for you to drink alcohol at all, really, to be honest with you. There was a study done, a medical study done, that came up with that the average human brain fully develops by the age of 25. I think it was the brain. So if the average human brain develops at 25, the best possible thing that you can do is to not do drugs or alcohol or anything of that nature before your brain fully develops, because if it develops, because doing these types of things will impair the development of your brain. So for that reason alone is enough for people, for parents at least, to know and to be able to teach their children to, like, even though the legal drinking age in New Jersey is 21. I mean, that's not reasonable. If the average human brain develops by the age of 25, we should do it, so I don't want to get into that. I mean, I have medicine and I have everything on my side. Just the problem is, it's just we just have very bad people in government. That's all it is. The worst possible case scenario, by the way, and I've thought about it today, is that because I will be rattling the cage, so to speak, and we would have people in government that have currently have no impression that they will ever be replaced. They are in this position for the rest of their lives. Because I will be rattling that cage and that mentality, I suspect that they would be very upset. And I do have concern about my welfare, and not my welfare as in money or just my existence, so to speak. It's a bit tricky to explain, but if anybody is from around here, they would be able to maybe possibly relate, assuming that there are somewhat, as long as their eyes are open, they're not sleeping, um, they might agree with me that there is a possibility of that happening. Um, and I have a solution to something like that I will not share right now, just because I'm tired and I'll have to. Yeah, it's 25 minutes. Uh, we have a spot. I was speaking to Dwayne and Ventrilo, and he asked me a question, and I go, and I just spit out a ton of information at him, and he goes, I don't know how to answer any, like, I just simple. He doesn't, because he's so it's very important that I kind of I don't know. I don't know what to do about that. Really. Uh, it could be a bad thing. It could be a good thing if I have to. If I'm going to be going door to door meeting people, and it's going to be like, and then the person doesn't know what to say. So, so yeah. Or they ask me a question. No, I'm not gonna just flat out. They're gonna ask me a question, and I'm gonna give them my opinion or an idea or the problem or the solution to the problem, and I'm gonna go. Did you understand that? So, yeah. All right. Okay. I'm gonna go now. I'm gonna get some sleep. This I label this as personal chat because there were some personal aspects I shared about what I did on my birthday.